The wooden villa on Vintine Hill is brighter than usual tonight. The smell of food, wine and pine wood blend together, creating a scent that is both familiar and strange. Outside the window, the fog begins to thicken, white waves seeping through the curtains like the breath of Dalat on chilly nights. On the long dining table, covered with a white tablecloth, hot dishes are steaming. Havai wears a beige woolen dress. Her slightly curled hair falls over her shoulders. She is busy clearing the dishes, talking non-stop, her smile still as bright as 10 years ago. Jiabao opens the wine bottle and laughs. It's true that only Vi can make a meal look like a party like this. Vi rolls her eyes. It's been 10 years since we last met. Are we going to eat instant noodles? A laugh breaks out, light but real. Chuandui stood next to the kitchen counter, holding a coffee pot, shaking his head slightly. I always say, when Harvey goes into the kitchen, the whole house lights up. Vi smiled. You keep saying that people are shy. Dewey smiled slightly, his eyes lingering on V a little longer. A gentle, deep and sad look like the yellow light covering the hand that was arranging the chopsticks. And Nian saw it. She smiled, but her heart ached slightly. Unrequited love. She understood that feeling better than anyone. Min Kang sat silently at the head of the table, his coat hanging on the chair, his hand gently turning the wine glass. The light reflected through the glass onto his eyes, making them sparkle more, as if there were an undercurrent in them. He occasionally glanced at An Nian, an unintentional look, but he couldn't hide it. And Nian sat opposite, bowed her head to cut a piece of bread, pretending not to notice. But every time she heard the sound of glasses clinking, every time laughter rang out, she still felt her heart skip a beat. Because of Kang's laughter, still deep, warm, and slightly hoarse like the years he sang to her in the Pine Hills. Nian, Jiabao called, tell me, what have you been doing for the past 10 years? It must have been fun in Saigon, huh? She looked up, startled for a moment, then smiled. It's normal. Work, then work again. City life takes me away. There's no time to think about anything else. Kang looked at her, softly asked, still taking pictures? She paused. The alcohol made Kang's voice warmer, closer. She swallowed softly. Not much anymore. In the city, people don't take pictures of what they like, but take pictures of what they pay for. Kang smiled sadly. Dalat still keeps a few old photos of you. At the Kineum shop, I still hang them, haven't taken them down yet. The space suddenly became quiet. There was only the sound of candles burning and the wind blowing through the crack in the door. Their eyes met. For a moment, the whole world seemed to stop. Then Harvey quickly spoke up to break the atmosphere. Come on, let's drink, because we're still here. She raised her glass, smiled brightly. Her voice was a little drunk. Chuandui poured more wine. His hand lightly touched Vi's hand, just a little, but Vi stopped. The smile on her lips fell a little, then she changed the subject. When the meal was almost over, Jiabao took out his guitar, laughing loudly. If no one sings, I'll sing. He strummed a few chords, his voice hoarse but warm. There are days when we don't need to say anything to each other, just sit still, listen to our hearts beat together. The whole table was silent. And Nian looked out the window. The fog outside was thicker. The yellow light was lost in the dimness. I remembered 10 years ago, on a night like that, Kang once sat and sang to her, his hands trembling from the cold, and she leaned her head on his shoulder, whispering, I wish this night would last forever. That dream had long since passed, like the notes falling in the pine forest. When the music stopped, everyone was silent for a moment. Then each person stood up to clean up, and Nian stepped out onto the balcony. The cold air rushed in, seeping into her skin. She leaned against the railing, looking down at the misty valley. Are you still afraid of the cold? Kang's voice echoed behind. She turned around and saw him standing there, hands in his pockets, tall and calm. No, it's too hot in Saigon, so I forgot this feeling. I'm still here, still used to the fog and the cold. He paused, looking at her. I just haven't gotten used to not having you. She was silent. The breath turned into smoke in the air. Don't say that, Kang. She replied softly. It's been 10 years. Everything's over. Kang smiled faintly. Do you think time can make people forget? I don't. I just learned to hide it. She tightened her grip on her jacket. A part of her wanted to step back, hug him, say that she had never forgotten either. But the other part, the rational part that had become numb from the pain, kept her still. If you hadn't been silent then, if you had kept me, she said softly, maybe we would have been different now. I know. Kang nodded slightly. But you were too late. Both were silent. There was only the sound of the wind and the heartbeat in her chest, erratic like the night before. Inside the house, Harvey called out, "Nien, come in here and take a souvenir photo." She turned away, her eyes red, and nodded slightly. "Come in now." Kang looked after her, his eyes sparkling as if there were tears that had not yet fallen. He spoke softly, as if just for him. "In this life, the thing I regret the most is letting you go without keeping you." The group gathered in front of the fireplace, taking a group photo. Bright smiles, glasses of wine in hand, warm light shining on each person's face. But in that photo, only the camera could capture what the human eye could not see. Kang's gaze turned towards Nien, Dui's gaze gently glanced at Vi, and the light, meaningful handshake between Jiabao and his own loneliness. It was late at night, when everyone had gone to their room, and Nien was still sitting by the fireplace, watching the fire gradually die down. She heard her heart tighten, as if the old love was still alive, still waiting, just no longer daring to step forward. "Loving someone is not difficult," she whispered. "The difficult thing is daring to love again after having been broken." The fire gradually died down, leaving behind warm ashes and an unnamed pain. There are reunions that seem to be happy but turn out to only let us know that we have never truly forgotten.